Good morning, Val. Wilhelmina here. And today we're up into January 2016, 11th already. The month is flying by. And I have found some more Flyspecks. So I'm going to start reading them to you today. You'll find them, if you want to read them in the text, in my 8th installment of Words for Wilhelmina, which I'm going to publish either later on today or tomorrow. Things are looking good. So this time I'm going to try and have about 5-minute cuts so a person can take a break or you can take a break after 5 minutes and just get a little bit at a time. I also found in this batch that they have numbers to each little segment, so I'll put them on. And a date. They were all back in 1998. We were living in the western mountains of North Carolina and the Blue Ridge Mountains. We were there for 2 years in a little valley, beautiful little valley. And we went walking by Frank Killian's cow fields. I have a picture of them in my installment. Let's begin. Number 40, Gone. The last time I told you about a little horse across the street, a young colt, shaggy and wild, and I called across when the owner was bringing the colt down the driveway, and I said, "What's the colt's name?" And the colt got all excited and reared up, and then the owner called back and he said, "Zach." There were 2 horses over there I used to watch. This one is called Gone. The horses are gone. The 12 black Angus cows are still grazing in the first pasture, where the huge clusters of wild daffodil leaves are coming up under the bare trees. This was February 14th I wrote this. But the green horse pasture beside Muskrat Creek is empty. Yesterday morning, Jerry and I startled the 2 tiny brown horses. They were asleep, I suppose, in their big blue horse trailer. We rounded the corner by Mary Setzer's log cabin home in the dark, and we heard the clatter of hooves as the horses ran down the steel ramp and bolted away. Next item, 41, Zach. Same day. On the way home from that walk, the colt Zach was standing close to the barbed wire fence. It watched us with big, round, black, wondering eyes. Its brown hide was as furry as a bear's. Then he jumped away and ran to his mother's side, grabbed a strand of the mare's black mane in his teeth and tugged on it. The mare shrugged, and the colt laid his head across her back. I have been taking the horses for granted, thinking they were a permanent feature of our North Carolina landscape, but today, all that's left of them is a rectangular patch of long grass in the close-cropped pasture to show me where the blue trailer used to stand. I miss them. Next item, 42, and the date on this is March the 20th. Martha and I heard Frank Killian shouting. He's the cowman, raised calves. As soon as we rounded the corner by his little creek, "Here, girls, here, girls." We passed his barn, and there he was, in his white dress shirt. Oops, missed it. I am doing some corrections as I go along here. There he was in his white dress shirt, spreading a bale of hay on the muck of a small pen beside the road. 15 cows and heifers, brown, black, and white, were hurrying up the green pasture toward him. The last of them was coming slowly and was holding her tail at an odd angle. Next item, number 43, down yonder. "That little black heifer down yonder wants to have her baby, and she can't have it," Frank told us. He was talking fast, and he was waving his arms like windmill blades. "And that big old black cow you see lying by the side of the field is paralyzed. She's been down for 2 days, and she's not going to make it. When you get home, Martha, you ask Gerald if he'll come shoot it for me." Same day, 44, old white truck. Martha's Gerald goes bear hunting in the winter. That's why he keeps those 3 red-bones bear dogs on chains down by Muskrat Creek in back of his place. Martha and I could see that Frank had his hands full, so we walked on. By the time we got to the end of our walk and came back, the heifer that was in labor was shut in the shed by the pen, and the rest of the cows were out in the field again, and Frank's old white truck was gone from the side of his house. Number 46, yellow dump truck, same day. He's over to get Charles Nolan to help him with the heifer, Martha said. But that other lying down one is a goner. I said, I'd think Frank would keep a gun so he could put a cow out of its misery. Martha said he has one, but he can't bear to use it. She shook her head and clicked her tongue. The next day, I saw Ed Setzer drive by our house in his big old yellow dump truck, pulling his backhoe on a flatbed trailer. When Ed goes by with his backhoe, that means Frank Killian has something to be buried. Ooh, look, we're up to 6.5 minutes already. Okay, I'll just stop right here. Yellow button, yes.